Good morning, good morning. Hello, everyone. Who all is here? Annie Banani. Good morning, Annie and Grayson. It's so good to see you. Kathy Hand, Deirdre. Hi, honey. Hi, Thump. Sally and Tony. Hi. Sherry, Brookie, Dylan, Max, our sweet family. Andrew, Greg. Hi. Thank you for sharing. Eugene. I would say yes. To answer your question, Blue, there's been a huge shift in the energy. And and Siri answered. Yes, thank you, Siri. I know, she doesn't understand. And good morning, I hope Wellington Marshall. Oh, it's so good to see all of you here. Let's do some heart brain coherence. I recently listened to Greg Braden explaining this. He's the one that I learned this from through heart brain coherence. And you put your hand on your heart. That's step number one. And it's an important step because wherever we're touching on our human body, that's where our focus goes. So focus on your heart and then slow down the breathing. We think we know how to breathe, but when we fill our lungs completely, we really understand what taking a breath is all about. So as we hold the heart center, we breathe in slowly and deeply and fill those lungs all the way up. And then exhale it out slowly. And then breathe in again. And we add the secret sauce, which is love. Just add that love right in your heart. Hold it in there and let it go. And the third time we're going to breathe this in, we're pulling in somebody with us. So who is it? Who do you want to give a heart hug to this morning? I'm pulling all of you in here. You just all coming right into my big old heart. And I'm going to hold you tight, flood you with some love, put a smile on my face, and then I'll release you. And thank you, thank you, thank you for being here this morning. On Hump Day, Prayer Day, our beautiful Wednesdays together. And let me see what's going on. Brandy, hi, sweetheart. Thank you for being here. And Kathy, you're not feeling anything in particular. Okay. Yeah, I felt the shift last night, actually, when I was communicating with the angels. And it's a good shift. It's foggy out here. You can't see the mountains. You can't see anything right now. So that also shows me a big shift. Oh, please do give a heart hug to yourself, Brandy. We're all holding you as well. So that should feel really warm and inviting. Bay leaves in the wallet. I used to do that. I haven't done that in a long time. That's for abundance. Okay. Ooh, and Deirdre brought everybody into her heart too. Isn't that great that we can do that? Just bring everybody in together. All righty. So, what's going on? What is happening in the world, in your world? The message from the angels last night was about puzzles. So, we can do story time if you want, but keep sharing the live and keep sharing what's going on with you. And is the sound stable enough that I can do the share? Because, I never know how it's going to be in the mornings. It's perfectly fine. Thank you, Sally. All right, so puzzles. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. That's a quote from Soren Kierkegaard. Sally, you're not seeing me? I don't know. Hi, Julie Kiss. Um, I have it on my phone, Sally, in front of me, and it looks like everything's okay. So I'm not sure why you're not getting the video. All right. I have met some really good problem solvers in my lifetime, and I think I'm pretty good at it myself. Maybe working puzzles helps. 'Cause I do that a lot. We sometimes treat life like a puzzle. We have missing pieces, and we focus on that more than the parts that have come together, right? I just want to stop reading and just say that has always bothered me. If I'm working a puzzle and I just can't find those last few pieces, doesn't matter that the whole puzzle is looking beautiful. It's those few pieces that I focus on. Perhaps we need to look at how to shift our perspective. Instead of constantly seeking to control, to resolve, or to perfect, let us pause and embrace the unfolding journey of existence. Life isn't waiting for us to figure it out. It's urging us to step into its flow and experience its beauty, even amidst circumstances and amidst uncertainty. Didn't want to get that word out. Dear angels, we often approach life as a puzzle. If only we could solve it, we'd find peace. But what if peace isn't found in solutions, but in surrender? Control is an illusion, and the more we grasp for it, the more it slips through our fingers. The seasons change without our permission, and the tides ebb and flow regardless of our plans. Life, in its essence, moves beyond the boundaries of our control. Dear ones, when you release the need to master every aspect of your journey, you free yourselves to experience life fully. You begin to see the wisdom in the chaos, the love in the struggle, and the divine orchestration within every moment. Experiencing life means being fully present. It's feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin, hearing the rustle of the leaves in the wind, and noticing the smile of a stranger. It's immersing yourself in the now where life truly happens. When you live in the present, you honor the sacredness of each moment. You no longer see life as a series of problems, but as a masterpiece painted by divine hands. Every stroke, light or dark, adds depth and meaning to the canvas of your lives. To truly experience life is to live it with an open heart. Laugh loudly, cry freely, dance wildly, rest intentionally, be unapologetically yourself. Let go of the need to have all the answers and instead lean into the wonder of being alive. Life isn't something to conquer, it's a gift to be cherished. So we encourage you to stop seeking to solve it and start savoring it. A famous poet wrote, "Be patient toward all that is unsolved in your heart and try to love the questions themselves. Live the questions now." As you walk this path, not as problem solvers, but as adventurers, embracing each moment with gratitude and awe, in the words of the psalmist, I give thanks to you, O my Lord, my God, with my whole heart, and I will glorify your name forever. Dear angels, today I promise to stay in gratitude, in awe of the things and people in my life. Another really big lesson for us, right? And like I said, when I'm working a puzzle, a picture puzzle, I focus on what I don't have yet. And that's how we do sometimes in life. We focus on what we don't have yet, right? Instead of looking at what we're surrounded by. Look at this beautiful family that we have. Don't look at what's missing, who's missing. They'll be here if they're meant to be here. And we don't stress over anything that we don't have. We love the things that we do have. We love the unfolding. And I love that one quote, to not worry so much about the questions that we have, but look at what the unfolding is. Look at all that has been shown to us, all the things that we have learned. And when we focus on that, we can see the miracles. We can go into the awe of the moment. And I just love that. All right. So Max had a big shift and felt the shift, right? Yes, I am so thankful for coffee myself. Sally said, last night I had the most unusual dream or vision. I dreamt that someone had shot a deer and I took on the soul of the deer. I breathed as it did, my heart raced as it raced. I could feel its life slipping away. Any idea on the meaning? I don't know. I really I understand that deer are used for food, but I just really dislike hearing that deer have been killed or seeing them on the side of the road. Sally, my heart just goes into such compassion for those beautiful animals. So I don't know what that means. Deirdre, surrender was our first exercise when I started my spiritual journey with the Higher Balance Institute. Surrender, letting go. And interestingly, Kuan Yin is talking right along with that whole theme. And get ready, it's a biggie. Trust. Trust what you feel the divine is communicating to you through the happenings around you. There is divine guidance in all things if we know how to feel and look for it through the heart without silencing our intuition with logic. The guidance comes to us through the heart center. Sometimes we think it comes through the brain, right? That was always my thought. It's like, oh, they're talking to me in my head. No, our guides talk to us in our heart. And when we can surrender, having to fill in all the pieces, right? Having to know all the answers, then we can trust that that guidance is going to be there, that we're going to feel it in our heart, we're going to feel it in our gut before we express it or before the brain processes like it does. The brain's just a computer. It is just a computer. And so whatever happens in our life with the guidance, with our spirit beings, with our earth angels that are surrounding us, it happens first in the heart. And I love that. And when we can really remember that, it's not happening up here. It's happening in our heart. And Kathy says, I guess that's my hardest lesson, having patience in divine timing and also being grateful for all the good fortune I've received, especially this past year. Oh my gosh, you've had some real miracles this past year, Kathy. And that's what they're sharing. Don't focus on anything that seems to be missing or any questions. Focus on what you have received and what's the blessing that's right there in your heart. Annie thinks that your dream meant that there was a transfer of healing within you from God. Awesome. And Sally says, I do too. I bless them as we pass them on the roadside, talking about the deer. Living in the middle of hunting country, we pray for the deer to make their getaways safely. I always pray for that. I'm like, go hide somewhere and be quiet, right? Because they are such gentle creatures, and I just want them to just be on our planet for as long as possible. I don't want them to die out. And Brookie says, deer have many symbolic meanings across cultures and traditions, including regeneration. Deer antlers fall off and grow back throughout their lives, representing regeneration. Spiritual authority. In many cultures, deer symbolize spiritual authority, piety. In Christianity, deer symbolize piety, devotion, and God's care for his children. Harmony. In Buddhism, deer symbolize harmony and happiness, peace, and longevity. Connection to the supernatural. Deer can symbolize a connection to the other world, the supernatural, or the fairy realm. Good luck. In Chinese culture, deer symbolize good luck, success, longevity, and prosperity. The Chinese word for deer, lu, means income, grace, elegance, and gentleness. Deer can symbolize grace, elegance, gentleness, and innocence, alertness, and vigilance. Deer can also symbolize alertness and vigilance. Deer also play significant roles in many mythologies, including as objects of worship, incarnations of deities, and objects of heroic quests. In fairy tales, deer can be magical disguises or enchantments for princes and princesses. That's awesome, Brookie. Thank you for looking that up. Yes, I see them as gentle. I always do. When I see them and their beauty and their big eyes, I just love coming across one and watching them, their graceful movements, and just how beautiful they are. Okay, so Sally says we feed them in our yards on our block. If they are in a neighborhood, they are safe. And I'm not sure they get it. Yeah, I know. They can't read the signs, right? I saw a really funny meme the other day. I think it was on TikTok, where this gal was, a couple was in the car, and the gal was behind the steering wheel, and she said something. Something in the conversation came up about deer, and so the guy, obviously they had been talking about this, and the guy asked her to repeat what she had said about the deer crossing signs that you see all throughout the rural areas in the country. And she goes, well, it's to tell the deer where to cross the road. And I just had to share that. I thought that was precious. The signs tell the deer where to cross the road. If only they would follow that, right? Because there's not been a time that I've ever seen one at the sign. There are always other places where they're not safe and people aren't looking out for them. All right, so I pulled a transmission card from Kuan Yin. Let's hold in our heart something that we want to receive. What do you want to receive as a message from Kuan Yin today? What transmission of light, of energy, of power do you need to feel in your heart? And it is luminous. When you feel pain within or around you, remember that my light is one with yours. Reflect upon my presence in your heart, and that light shall chase away the darkness. So when we feel the hurt in the world, when we feel other people who may be going through something heavy or Maybe we're even going through something ourselves, and we feel that empathy. We feel the actual pain of what somebody is experiencing. Remember this. Remember that Kuan Yin is coming into our heart to fill it full of love so that we don't feel that pain and that hurt so bad. I love this. I love that transmission. Yes, Sally, that everything will be okay. Absolutely. Prachetta, good evening to you, and thank you for being with us. Ah, Brandy, doesn't it? Yeah, this one hit home for me as well. That whenever we're feeling that pain, to not don't focus on the pain itself, right? Just like the message from the angels about working a puzzle. Don't focus on those missing pieces. If you focus on the whole picture that you've been creating with that puzzle, if we focus on who we do have in our life, then everything works perfectly. Everything falls into place. And we get to have that sense of accomplishment and the sense of peace. Okay, it is prayer day. So go ahead and type in if you have any prayers, put them in the comments. I'm going to pull up our prayer list and we'll go over it. Oh, Sally, I'm so happy that that touched your heart as well. And let's see, Deirdre, do you want to put in our daily prayer? And then Sally has one that she offers up to us, and then we'll go over the names of all that we pray for. And again, if you have any changes or additions to the names on the list, please do that. Thank you, Sally. Prayers for the lost, the lonely, the forgotten, the unloved, the homeless, and for all living in fear of another. Thank you for that prayer. And again, especially for our homeless right now and those who are wandering out in the world as things do shift and change and we're going into the wintertime cold temperatures. Thank you, Julie. Prayers for all in need. And Deirdre, prayers for all humans, for Gaia and all who live on her back, for world peace, attention to human trafficking through Save Someone's Child, and support for all families living with addiction. Thank you, ladies. And we pray for all of the peace for peace. But these are the names that you have trusted us with, that we can lift these up. We have Prachetta, Prachir, and Goofy, Aunt Mina and Neil, Navriti, Jasmine and her daughters, and her mom, Billy and Tim and family. Okay, I've got to do this so I can see. Sheila and Kevin, Billy, and please pray for Tim's family, his entire family that are grieving and figuring out how to go forward with the loss of Tim and Brian. My brother Gary, Cecil Boone and family, Nola, Joanne Castrillo, her husband, her daughter and her grandson Eris, her mom Dolores, LZ, Elaine, Deirdre, and her daughter Danya and beautiful Thump, Deirdre's sister Steph and Bob, Adriel, Joni, John and Carl, Tia Fernetti, Mickey, Suzanne Millard and all of her family, And special prayers for Suzanne's son-in-law right now, who is getting ready to be deployed in about a week or so, and prayers for her entire family. Jacob, Marietta, and Ed. Leo, off on his journey of a trip to the Dominican Republic, and I hope he's having so much fun. And especially prayers for his mom and his Aunt Sue Ellie. Lakshmi, Ken, Jim, Ryan, Josie, our sweet Josie. We haven't seen her in a few days, lifting her up. Tom and Mary, Tammy Williams, Meg and Jim Lorio, Auntie Jean and Ron, and she's not here with us this morning, so let's lift her up, and all the Lorio family. Mary Lou Burdick and family, Catherine and Michael Kovacs, and all of your family and fur babies, Lynn Nevins, and Catherine, if you're watching, give us an update on your mom, please. Yes, I will, Deirdre. Thank you. I see your message. Fred, Rosalind, good vibes. Jimmy Wright, Sally and Tony, Kathy and Bob and your family, Christina, Gage, Michael, Patty, Sonia, Paul and Marlene, Joe and his wife, Pat Moss and all of your family, Becky LaFave and Travis, Erica Hoppy, and I wasn't on Saturday, but Erica celebrated a birthday on Saturday, so if you want to today, send out a belated birthday wish to her. Corinne, Charlie Coons and family, Hope Wellington Marshall, and Senna and your daughters and your beautiful parents. Carrie Baker, Andrea Gregg, Catherine, Eric, John, Tatiana, Annie Seven and Grayson, and blessings on your new home, Annie, Cassandra and Destiny, Luz Orsini and grandkids and sister, Christine Lewis, Gail and Nick Zimmerman, Jennifer and Micah, Oksana and all of your family, Herb, Caitlin and Aunt Gail, Isabel and Paul and your daughters, Beata and daughter Juliana, Linda Lemieux, her sons and grandchildren, Linda's friend in Sarasota, Stacy and Josh Lord and all of their family, Mary Lord, Wayne, Blue Jean and Dave, and all the fur babies, and Dolly the horse, Chance the horse, Shasta the horse, Lindsay, Aunt Inga, Rose Sermon, Gary McCorkle, Brookie and family, Dylan and sweet baby Max, Brookie's Aunt Jeannie, the Girardi family, Jeanette and Ernie, Sean, Lillian in Norway and all of her family, Kathleen Caputo. Our sweet babies that we lift up, thanks to Kathleen, we have baby Wyatt, baby Haven, and baby Divine and all their family, Kat, Steve, Candy and Pastor Bruce, the Deerfield Valley in Vermont, Alba, Dottie and Dawn, Grace Isis, and all of her family in Kenya, Raymond, Darren Walker, Arthur Thompson, Karen Palmer and her sweet family, Vicki King, Elaine Armstrong, Elena, Marianne, Henrik, Lorraine, and John, Tammy Fisk and her family, Lori, Kelly, Rochelle Martinez and her mom Rose, Stephen, Catherine, Ruth Anderson and her family, and especially for her sister-in-law Sharon, Jeannie's sister Merle, Boulder, Colorado, Deb Goldberg and her family, Michelle, Crystal and Dean Nobles and her family, Laura Hill, Julia Osborne, Sharon Rhea and family, Sherry Gatewood and her brother-in-law, Hanaya Hummingbird, Tammy Hill and her family, Phil B., Lynn Gallagher, Mary Crincoli and her friends and family in Florida, Irene and Eduardo, Eddie Quills, Jose, Michael Murdoch, Jessica, Fidel, Camilla and Nick, Lynn Andriozzi, Frank, Albie, Kenneth, Bobby, Monsi, Kamal, Akil and the Pakistan orphans, Yuri, Scott, Letitia, Mary, Joshua, James, Drake, Alicia Burns, Pam Dite, Kimberly, Ellen, Sue Seekoff and Richard, Dido Clark and her son Harry, Terry Gilstad, Giara, Marissa, Allie, Bree, Marianne Peace and family, Cassandra and Danny Gary, Lenny, John Thaddeus Fiore, Kuka Carney and family, Carol Fisher, Deborah, Violet, Walter, Sue and grandchildren, Janie Stamler, Claudel Jackson, Debbie Carol Hawks, Carl, Chris Blake, Dante, Kaylee, Trevor Jordan, Richard Weber, Charlotte Abrahams, Michelle Landers and all of her family, Kagan and Wyatt Linder, Barbara Kaufman McGillicuddy, Bradley Capone, Andy, Amanda Summer, Miles and Sarah, Joanne McCann New, Whitney, Jude Doughton, Karen Gibbons and daughter, Julie Kiss and her mom Cynthia, Courtney, Ryan, M, Pat, Sophia, Aaron Parker, Angelica Kampemans, Peggy, Claire, Carrie Klingon Butcher, and a special prayer lifting up Carrie. She just lost her beautiful fur baby, Magneto, and he was so special. So lifting her up for love and all of her family, especially her dad, Brian Hughes, Pat O'Connor, Yolanda, Sylvie Barnes, Robin Waters Dykes and her mom Jewel and all of her family, Joey, Terry, Solar and Maya, Leanne, Pat, Joanne and Leo, Sam, Matt, Charles and Nita, Yusha, Nancy Burdell. Okay, I think I got the connection back. Gun Ellen Sundahl, Maria Mitchinson Higman Simpson, Lisa Jo Davis, Jordan, Lydia Benedita, Rebecca Stewart Rickardson, Sonia Kay, Miles, Anjali Baha, Paula Graca, David Brett, Colleen, Dylan Hickson, Richard Barnes, Cole Grayson, Brandy Chari, lifting you up, Brandy girl, JT, Francis Nalvin, Shauna, Danielle Riverin and family, Chris and Natika, Elise, Kara, Pam, Christine and Ed, Barbara and Diane, Kim, Catherine DeSanti, Mary Jane, Carol Caruso, Val Meyer, Tasha, Jocelyn, Linda Kraft and family, Eric and John, Celestino Cosme, Darlene Osei, MG, Pam, Mavon and Vanya, Daniel McGraw, Minna Broomley, Rebecca Sherman, Joe Ketterer, Gabrielle, Ina, Donna, Courtney, Nancy, Bailey, Jacob, Mary, Brian, Lily, Gabby Forrester, Don B., the Vega family, Laura, Lisa Capoli Matroni, Bobby, Elaine, Shiraz, Sharu, Sandy, Adil, Laura, Evelyn Smith, Beatrice, Amina, all areas of conflicts and war in our world. We're just going to lift them all up. Abused individuals and groups. Ashley Miller, Susanna, Lana, Grace Anna, Kim Coles Bentner, Shoshana Sabring, Elena, Stephen, Keith, LP, Adam Holmes, Bob Smith, Chris, Christina and Clint, Janine, Heather, Kim, Jennifer, Cassandra Brown Henry, Tim Smith, Jeanette and Eric, Pat, Ainsley Grace and Mom, Kathleen Viscomi, Betty, Judy Dorn, Kelly, Blue, Alma Jean, Jim Mershon's father, Diane Beiersdorfer, Rebecca Abraxas, Dana Rados, Darlene Trainer and her fur babies, Patricia, Jennifer Schwab and family, Steve Newman and Carol, Janet, Blue Sister Timmy, Margarita Estrada, Donna Sobel, Emerson, Diego Muga, Luisa Almeida, Patricia Torinas, Don Baker and his family, Norman Ratner and Monica, Richard Scarborough, Richard James, Kathleen's cousin in Florida, Andre, Latrulia, Kathy's co-workers and supervisor, Rose, Danica and Annette, Don and Dar, Mike, Emmanuel from Zambia, Lucy's mom Mary, Thandi Williams-Weiss and Vanette Hilma Maisel Kuckelhorn, Justin Brown and family, James and Cyrus. And I'd like to add one of my friends in Colorado. Her name is Jeannie Aguilera, and Jeannie just received some news about one of her grandchildren, her grandson, who is struggling with some terrible physical issues. So I would like to lift her up, please. And also my nephew, Ken, in Tennessee. So please speak to me clearly, Lord. Open my ears to hear your voice. Open my heart to commune with you more deeply. I want to feel your loving embrace. Open the doors that need to be opened and close the doors that need to be closed. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. And where there is sadness, joy. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who joined in with the prayers today. And just lift all of those prayers up to God. I know there were some connection issues while I was reading the prayers, but every name was spoken. Every prayer was lifted to the Creator. And I know that they are seen and acknowledged and answered for the best and highest good of all. So thank you for being here. We had Charlie come in during the prayer time. Thank you for coming in, Charlie. Okay, so it is time to do this. Thank you. I love you. And let me get the music with our Leo, and we'll get out of here and get on with our day. So thank you, Sally and Steve. Thank you, Andrew and Greg. Thank you, Teri. Oh, thank you, Brandy, for that prayer. Don't forget to do the little head bob that Max has taught us. Morning Cuppa full of joy every day to start the day on a high vibe called the AAA. Morning Cuppa full of joy with all the P's and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning Cuppa full of joy every day to start the day on a high vibe called the AAA. Morning Cuppa full of joy with all the P's and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Full of joy. Joy, full of light, full of love. Bottomless refuse, spilling out from the top. Here, the coffee's always hot and the truth is always yours. The sun is calling out to play, let's put on a show. Today's a new day, we are part of this game. Oh, Annie, I'm so glad. And you can side with us Good luck with the packing. I know that's always a hard thing, but it doesn't have to be.
To start the day on a high vibe, we call the triple A. Morning cup of full of joy with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love
Thank
you,
you. I love you.
namaste. Morning cup of
Namaste,
full of
y'all.
joy every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the triple A. Morning cup of full of joy with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste.
Cup full of joy. Did you get your joy in your cup today? And send it from your heart to those who have asked for prayer.
There really is no secret. We simply
Accept,
align,
align, and allow.
triple A. Morning cup of full of joy every
Thinking
day.
of our Leo as he's out there on the cruise, and hope that it's a wonderful experience.
Daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning cup of full of joy every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the triple A. Morning cup of full of joy with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is
You're
thank you,
so
I love you,
welcome, Brandy.
namaste.
Cup full of joy. You're the head, Bob. Woo! Thank you, Leo, for our song, and thank you, Peas, for coming together on Wednesdays to lift each other up in prayer. I love you so very much. I'll be back on in about an hour with Dr. Ruth Anderson. On Wednesdays, we do a meditation called Meditation Excavation. And I'd love to see you participate and follow along in that meditation because we never know what happens in that meditation. It could be very interesting, and it certainly is on most Wednesdays. Stay in your heart, stay blessed, keep lifting each other in prayer. I appreciate you so much as a family, as friends, as my beautiful angels here on earth. I will see you later. Namaste.